Ghazi sprinting up a tree. He's 86, he walks with a stoop, and he needs a walking stick to get about. But people do extraordinary things in extraordinary situations. And on the 25th of May 2009, a few hours before Cyclone Ayla hit Bangladesh, Ghazi remembers the rain. It was coming down in sheets. He was getting drenched. Visibility was less than 2 meters. The wind was getting up. He knew there was something up. But by the afternoon, the wind had really gathered momentum. Houses were being knocked over. Fences were being thrown around. Ghazi knew that in the next few moments he had to find some refuge, or otherwise he might not survive. He climbed a palm tree. He doesn't know how he did it. He didn't know how long it took him to get up there. But he was up there for 6 hours. 6 hours being battered by gale force winds. 6 hours being surrounded by a sea of waves that he'd never seen before. When he came down, his village was obliterated. Houses were submerged, livestock drowned, and very few people around. He still lives there. 4 years later, he's still in the same village. And the good news is houses have been rebuilt, schools have been rebuilt. People in Bangladesh are used to overcoming severe adversity. The issue is, though, that his village has seen a massive decline in its population. It's nearly halved since Cyclone Ayla, as people have left to try and find jobs from what is a very precarious position. And in May 2009, Cyclone Ayla hit Bangladesh. It devastated hundreds of homes and hundreds of villages on the coast. And Bangladesh has seen an increase in these extreme weather events. Bangladesh has always lived with cyclones and floods, but these have got worse. And these are the impacts of climate change. And as Ghazi says,
climate change has wrecked everything. Our people are living in towns and cities like refugees. All I wanted was to grow old with my children and their children, but now they're gone and I don't know if they will ever return.
As you probably know, millions of people, like Ghazi and his family, are affected by the impacts of climate change and its devastation through different climatic events. And the evidence is it's set to get worse. Probably most of us in this room know that. Not necessarily a most upbeat story. I do get that. But it's not just low-lying countries like Bangladesh that you may have seen in the headlines. It's other countries like Tibet and many, many other countries around the world. In fact, in 2011, it's estimated that 42 million people were impacted by climate-related disasters. They were forced to move home, maybe permanently, maybe not. But it's a major issue. And of course, migration is a complicated issue. We're not saying all of those people, the only reason they moved was because of climate, but it's becoming an increasing problem, and 42 million people is an awful lot of people. And the problem is the voice of Ghazi and people like him are rarely heard. At the international level, there is no formal recognition of people like Ghazi and his family who have to move. There's no formal recognition of migrants like them. And in the UK, the understanding of climate change and migration is very rarely fully understood by policymakers or the public. And as you might probably be aware, myths abound. But COI is working to change this. We're a very small Oxford organisation working to communicate climate change and the issues in new ways, new engaging, hopefully more upbeat ways, and inspiring ways, as we heard from Polly. And we're promoting people to act, so not just informing, but also saying there's ways to act. My name is Jamie Clarke, I'm the director of COI, and this is Alex, who leads on our climate change migration work. We're 2 of 3.5 people, essentially, in COI. So we're working to change things. We're pushing for an international framework that provides for climate-related migration. So that's actually at the big level, policy level. We want to shift the public discourse about these issues in the UK. And most crucial of all, we want to get the voices of people like Ghazi out of academic papers or out of research and out into the public, and especially in the UK. We're a pioneering organisation in many respects, and particularly in this area. We brought together a coalition of human rights organisations and environmental organisations to try and address the issues. COIN has a seat at the UN Council process to try and address these things. But combining the issues is a real issue. Climate change, migration, put the two of them together, probably not the best idea for most politicians or media experts. But we do. We want to address it. And we've gained money for the international level work we've done, but it's really difficult to fund the UK level work. So £5,000 would help us to achieve this. We create an accessible document to bring out the stories that we're aware of and take them to the public. We'd like to put on 2 events, one here in Oxford and one in London, inviting you, the public, and everyone to get involved, but also key actors to try and start changing the discourse, to stop having those headlines, to try and get people to understand the issue. And we'll bring politicians, the media in, and try and get things changed. So with your help, we can bring the voices of millions of people